Well, hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to dive right into our work that we're going to do. Welcome once again. Your video is going to go right here. We're going to click here and we're now going to really explore. Grab your pencil, your paper, because there's a couple of questions that you need to answer back on your slides as you do this. Question number 1, what subject will you focus on? Question number 2, what do you want your students to learn by the end of this assignment? Because that's going to be what you're going to use to assess them. What Maryland standard match your learning objectives? So let's go through this together. You click right on here, and depending on the subject area, you're going to select from this list. So we're going to select mathematics. Over here on the left, we're going to select that. And then whatever grade level it is that we have. If you teach 6th grade, you need to go down to secondary. If you're in elementary, pre-K, all the way to 5 standards are listed here. So it goes very specific by domain, right? And then cluster, and then specific standard. So scroll through and make sure that you select the one that matches what you are learning. I want to go back into it one more time and show you reading. Here we have reading. You're going to select the first one, content standards, or click, select the first one, and select the appropriate grade level. All right, here we have it, reading literature standards. Key ideas and details. So it depends on what it is that you want to stress and what it is that you want to teach. So go through, select it where it says grades 3 through 5. This just shows you what they need to learn for the next school year or what they should have learned previously prior to. Let's keep going. Oh, you know what? Thought I should do science as well. So you're going to scroll to science. And then for science, you're going to need to make sure that you select the science standards that match what it is that you are teaching. So we have Maryland Science Standards, Environmental Literacy Standards, and make sure that you select the appropriate one. Now, explain. For the explain part, you're going to need to take a closer look at the specific lesson plans that we have within Maryland. All right, I'm going to stop sharing because I need to get logged into a different area of my screen so that you are able to fully view everything. Okay, so for this one, we are directly inside of elementary mathematics. Okay, let me tell the folks I'm there too. Okay, and we're back. And the stampede is over. So we're going to get into what we're doing next. We're talking about our lesson planning content. So Prince George's County has 2 sets of content, or 2 sets of lesson plans that you can use. One is going to be your daily or weekly lesson plan, and the other is going to be your FFT observation. So these are the templates that are used for your formal observation process. Let's get into the daily and multi-daily templates, which I personally really like. They didn't have this when I was first starting. So you guys are great. So you guys have a lot to use. So let's go into what it looks like. For the elementary content, this is what we're going to be using to actually shape your lesson. I only want one day, you guys. I don't want you to do all 5 days. Just give me one day. What is it that they're going to be learning? What will the students do? The cluster and the standard, the domain, and also the unit curriculum component. Now, if you're like, forgot what that is, on the blueprint, the Maryland Blueprint document, a couple slides back, it shows you what it is, okay? All right, so that is math. Let's take a peek at the next one. The next one we need to take a look at is the RELA planner for elementary school. Woo. Welcome to reading, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, these are going to be the standards. You need to make sure you have your objective, materials, modifications for diverse learners, differentiation, formative assessment or feedback, and then your instructional sequence. I do, we do, you do, and then your closure. Personally, I'm a fan of this. Okay? I'm a fan of this format. I love the fact that it includes what you need. So I will probably do a mixture of the two just to make sure that I had all the content included. So what I mean by that is I'm going to include my instructional materials and my differentiation, and also specifically list my formative assessment. That's so key. All right. And I love how they have the instructional sequence there. Very good job, RELA department. Excellent. Very thorough. Now let's look at this science. For science, we're going to go to middle school, where you need to make sure you're going through your current anchor phenomenon, your essential question, your lesson objective needs to be there, resources and materials, and then your 5E format along with the independent activities. So depending on what you're teaching, I'm going to let you choose whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, and remember, I suggest you pick something that's going to help you pass that practice a bit more. If you know you're good with math, but you need to brush up on that science, look at the science. If you know you're good with RELA, but you need to brush up on that math, pick a content area in math so that you are developing that lesson, looking at it, and really building it out and teaching yourself and preparation and studying for the practice. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find techniques that you can use that when you go on to take the next level of your reading or your teaching exam, you're going to be able to speak to those in the next level. Now, when I took it, it was a practice 2, and I had to go through and specifically create a lesson plan in the middle of the test, right? And they're looking to see if you know the different terminology. Do you know what domain is? Do you know what the clusters are, right? Do you know what we mean by the 5E format? So that's going to be key, along with understanding the instructional content. Now, what I love about this is at the beginning, it literally teaches you in the elementary, in the math section of the curriculum, it teaches you the math. It teaches you the math. It shows you how to do it in ways that are so clear that it can help you. So it's right there at your fingertips, here for you. Okay. Now, let's go on to the next part. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section. And I'll be definitely able to help you, okay? I know there's probably no comment section, but there is a comment section within Google Classroom. All right, so let's go into what we're going to be working on next. We took a close look at the lesson plans, and now it's your job to select the lesson plan template for your subject and grade level and begin completing the lesson plan template. Now, I'm going to list all 4 of these inside of Google Classroom. I'm not telling you to do all 4. Pick one and do one day only. That is what I'm looking for. And we're not doing it yet unless you really want to get a head start. Elaborate. Add the activities and resources to your lesson plan that will make it ready to be taught. You may hyperlink the activity or specifically describe what you will do and what the students will do in no less than 3 sentences. So what I mean by that is this. If you plan to show the PowerPoint presentation or the slideshow, then you say, I will use the slideshow for the entry task. Students will complete the following pages. Okay? Students will use the following worksheets, or students will use the following tools or techniques or whatever it is that they're going to be doing. So you need to make sure that you are specific in that. And let's talk about how we're going to make sure that our lesson plan has what it needs. Now, I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about the FFT rubric for lesson planning. No, you don't have to go through it every single time that you do a lesson every day. What I mean by it is you do not have to do the formal FFT lesson plan. However, these elements of rich, rigorous instruction should be a part of your lesson plans, and that's what I'm going to be looking for your lesson. So, Did you demonstrate knowledge of content and pedagogy? Let's take a look at what it would look like for an unsatisfactory. Teacher displays little understanding of the subject or structure of the discipline of content-related pedagogy versus basic or proficient, which is where most people live. Most people live in the basic and proficient. All right. You can pause at this time and read through these. I highly recommend it. The next slide has more of the same. Evaluate yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And this is something you have your kids or your students do as well. Give them the rubric. Start with the rubric. Have them help you create the rubric. All of these things are going to help you build those lesson plans that are going to drive student instruction and help them learn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking forward to seeing your projects when they are due. Remember, this is just a video to go over the different components that will make up a well-constructed lesson plan, and also to review the requirements that would be needed for your 15-minute lesson. Now, it's only 15 minutes because we have to get through everyone. So we're going to need to try and stick to that time frame. So pace yourself, time yourself. You may not be able to literally go through everything that you're going to need to do, but all of the components need to be clearly listed and identified within your lesson plan. I am looking forward to seeing your work, seeing what you guys come up with. You are so creative. You have what you need to get this done. Remember, I'm here to help you as your resource. I'm only one email away. Enjoy your learning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for choosing Prince George's County.